another agency in Calgary. They took my measurement, basically told me I had to lose weight to become international. Most of my shoots are not paid. Most of them are free. And sometimes when I tell people my rates, they don't want to pay me. My mother came with me to it. Like, my mother was in the same room, but the photographer was being a little creepy. And eventually we would go into different rooms to shoot. And then he would say, oh, we should do a topless picture. And I would be like, what?
Influencer Insight shares the battles, stories, successes of models, influencers, and entrepreneurs as they find the balance of being influential leaders today while creating long-lasting impact for the future.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an episode of Influencer Insights, where I have Isabelle Bethany from Calgary, Alberta. She's an up-and-coming model. She's 20 years old. She's been doing this for the last 5-6 years and that sort of thing, growing and developing as a model. So welcome, Isabelle. Glad to have you on and glad to hear your story this morning. So,
hi, I'm so happy to be on here.
Sure. So good to have you. And what's the weather like in Calgary today?
Pretty sunny, very, very hot so
far.
Very
hot. Good. Calgary is kind of an interesting place because it can stay above 25
very
degrees a lot.
Bipolar weather.
Yeah. Yeah, bipolar weather. I like that. That's about right. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where how did you get started in modeling? What are you doing now with it? Agencies, how did that go?
When I was 15, I booked a shoot with this photographer named Catherine, and she did such an amazing job on the pictures. And I'd never done modeling before, never anything like that. And I looked like I'd been doing it like forever. And I posted those pictures on Instagram, and lots of photographers started contacting me. And then eventually I did get contacted by an agency, and it was not a very good experience. They kind of wasted my money. I spent, my parents, because I was under 18 at the time, they spent like over $1,000 with workshops, photo shoots and stuff. And then they ended up booking me for no jobs. And then I eventually left, and then I was going to join another agency in Calgary, and I had a meeting with them, and then they took my measurements, and then basically told me I had to lose weight to become international. And that basically set the mood for me. Like, I'm just going to be a freelance model. I'm just going to do this all on my own. I'm going to promote myself and everything. And that's been working the best for me.
Okay. How did you, I know those moments are tough when somebody comes up to you and says that, and it can be a real confidence boost. And I know a lot of people, if they get told that they need to change their body size, then they're, they just out the door and they never look at it again. But what kind of kept you going through that? Because that's kind of that's a hard thing to hear. So,
I watched a lot of other models' videos on YouTube talking about it, and that made me realize too, I wasn't like the only girl out there that was getting told these things. And I was like, okay, I have to push through and work myself and not let these people telling me I need to lose weight or whatever bring me down.
Okay, good. What was the first job that you booked on your own? How did you get kind of launched into that?
Basically, I think it's hard for me to remember, but I remember one of the first jobs I got was they told me we'd be doing like a whole bunch of different outfits, and then they would submit it for publication. Cool. I was like, wow, okay, this is my first opportunity to be in a magazine. And it was like a 2-hour-long shoot, and I did like a whole bunch of cute, funky little outfits, and I did get published in that magazine. And then I kept working with that same photographer, and I got published like so many times. And then eventually I worked with another photographer, Jen Peters, and she's amazing. And I did this Halloween style shoot with her, and I got a cover of a magazine with it, which was really great. Like, that was probably a great experience for me. Every time I do a shoot where I know I'm gonna get published, it's great.
Yeah, that's always extra exciting, right? When you know you're gonna hit the print. So.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. Maybe backtracking a little bit. Growing up, was modeling something you always wanted to do, or what kind of sparked you to the place that was something you got into? Like, what were some of your interests, I guess, growing up as young as Isabelle?
Well, I was very much into like fashion and makeup, and my mom would always let me wear her clothes, and she would put makeup on me, and she would put me in a little cute background outside or in the house and take pictures of me and make me pose.
Fun.
And then eventually she wanted to put me in like the kids clothing catalog magazines and stuff, but my father at the time did not agree with that and said it was inappropriate, which I don't understand how that's inappropriate because it's not.
Right.
And then basically, like, I would just do, like, as I got older and was a young teenager, I would, take pictures in my room and do little photo shoots in my room. And yeah, that really, my mother helped pique that interest
Okay.
for
Cool.
sure.
She saw a spark inside of you, right? That maybe
Yeah.
just helped foster that. So cool. So what have you been working on recently? Have there been some cool shoots that you've been doing, or do you have plans for? I know your Instagram kind of got kiboshed there, so you're working on rebuilding there and that sort of thing. But what else is going on?
Well, I recently took a trip with Curiosity Refresh workshops to Vegas, and I
cool.
did a whole bunch of photo shoots there, and that like really grew my following a lot doing that trip to Vegas and working the WPPI Expo. And lately I've been kind of building off of the photo shoots from that and then planning other photo shoots in the future. But yeah, getting my Instagram taken down, that was like a really devastating thing to me because like all my hard work from when I was 15 is just gone. And just over some picture that was censored.
Right. Yeah, one shot threw the whole thing out. So, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the Vegas trip. How did you get connected down there and got into going down there?
So Jen Peters, the owner of Curiosity, she invited me down there with her.
Okay.
And we flew down there and we planned like a little workshop there with me and a whole bunch of other models and a whole bunch of photographers in this really fancy Airbnb. And we shot there for like basically the whole day. And then I got like so many pictures from that. And then I worked at the WPPI Expo as a model there. And I basically spent 2 days there dressed in princess costumes and stuff and posing. And it was a great experience too because I actually I was very excited at first about being at the expo and like seeing all the photographers come by and take pictures of me. But then eventually I started having a panic attack during it and I was like, why am I panicking? I'm experienced in this. And I eventually had to go away and take a moment for myself, and I still don't understand why I was panicking. Maybe it was the amount of people, but I eventually went back out there and finished what I was there to do. And the whole experience in Vegas was really great. The photographers there gave me a little birthday dinner too, because it was just after my birthday.
Oh, right on.
And I made so many new contacts there, and so many more photographers want me to come back down there.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. How long was the expo? Is it 3 days or 4 days, or is it?
Yeah, I think it was 4 days, maybe a week.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Pretty intense week though. It's fun, right? But you're changing and you're meeting people and taking pictures, and that's a lot of stuff going on in your face all the time too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool. Is that first time in Vegas or is it multiple trips?
That was actually my second time in Vegas, but it was the most time I've spent there ever. Because the time before I did no modeling there, and I really wanted to do modeling, but I was under 18 at the time, so most people, didn't want to shoot like bikini stuff or whatever with a 16, 17-year-old.
Probably not, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good. What else do you like to do in Vegas? Do you have any highlights that you like to go see when you're down there?
Well, there was this one, I don't know if it was like a museum or whatever, but it was called, I don't remember exactly the name, but it was like Area something. And that was a fun experience. And then we walked down the strip and everything, and it was so great. And then we went to Spa Ghost for my birthday dinner, which was such an amazing experience.
Right on. Well, it sounds like someplace that you'll probably be back and forth to a few times.
Oh yeah, definitely. For sure.
Good. Any other plans down there so far, or is it just?
Well, I've mostly gotten lots of photo shoot opportunities there that I've been offered, and then also Los Angeles too, which is great. And then I've gotten some people from Arizona as well.
Cool. So you can make a loop all the way through there probably at some point. So
Oh yeah.
nice. Have you been to LA before to shoot at all, or is that the epicenter of
Just
the
for a
world?
vacation twice. No
Okay.
modeling though.
I feel like yeah, you probably have some really good opportunities. You planned yourself out there. So
Yeah, for sure.
any bucket list trips that you want to do in the modeling sphere, or is there?
I really would love to go to a tropical place like Hawaii or Jamaica or
Ooh,
somewhere like there and do a whole bunch of like
beach
tropical
shoots.
style photo shoots.
Yeah, that would be cool. Catch the
Hmm.
sun rays and the ocean and
Yeah,
shoot
that'd
all
be
sorts
so
of.
nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess getting back to maybe the technical side of modeling a little bit, your experience, you've done a lot of shoots yourself and you've kind of built yourself up really well. Isabelle, what are some things that if somebody was wanting to get into modeling or started to look at doing this, what are some things that they should be considering or planning for in getting
Well,
into modeling?
they should definitely research the photographer that they're going to work with, make
Okay,
sure like they know how to build a portfolio and stuff. And
right,
then they have to obviously market themselves. So like go on as many social media platforms as possible. Like I started out with Instagram and that was a really great way, but I
yeah,
think now probably maybe even like TikTok would be a good way too to get scouted. I see so many videos on there of
right,
people scouting for models and stuff like that. But
right,
I think definitely marketing yourself and branding yourself is the most important thing, and research who you're going to work with. And always bring someone with you to photo shoots because you never know.
right. Modeling isn't a 9 to 5 job, is it? So,
Yeah, and exactly. And like I've seen lots of girls, especially like my friends or people that I work with that want to become models. Like they think they can just do it and then get paid for it and then live off that job. And it does not work like that. Like most of my shoots are not paid, most of
mhm,
them are free. And sometimes when I tell people my rates, they don't want to work with me, they don't want to pay me.
right.
So they have to like understand too that it's not a full-time job for sure. Like you can't live off of it.
Do you find like what are some other things that you do to create income around your modeling ventures? Can you
Well,
take the photos and go to press shows and that kind of thing, or what's a good way to?
I like since I like also do like boudoir and stuff like that. I
Right.
when Playboy came out with their new centerfold program, I
Oh,
immediately applied for it, and then I got waitlisted, and they accepted me within like the hour that I applied.
good
And
platform.
yeah, and it's a really like I would say it's almost better than OnlyFans and stuff like that. It's been a really good source of income with the modeling, and I just post like my boudoir and bikini stuff on there, and it's so great. I love that platform so much, and I would definitely recommend it to other girls as well.
Okay, good way to get started and kind of
Oh
be
yeah,
residually using some of the content that you create, right? So
yeah.
yeah. Uh, back to portfolio building. Do you have any tips or ways that you think people should start building their portfolio? Should they focus in one kind of genre in one area, or where do you like to
I
tell
think
people to
they
do that?
should. I think they should probably focus on like digital images. So like the photos that they would ask in like castings, basic, no makeup, black
Right.
clothing, all that stuff. And then eventually like maybe do a fashion shoot, like a basic fashion shoot, or then a beauty shoot, and kind of keep going from there. And photographers will always recommend like really cool ideas too to build the portfolio. Like my portfolio is so big now. I have so many things in there. And I just started with a basic fashion shoot and then slowly built up from there. So
Yeah.
I would recommend the digital style shots first, because then if a girl wanted to submit to an agency, she has the pictures to do that.
Right. Right. And you can kind of branch into different zones once you kind of know where you fit in the.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What about, so you mentioned TikTok, Instagram, that kind of thing. Do you have any, I mean, I don't know if you had 20,000 followers or more before on your Instagram or something like that, but what are some tips that people can use to get that thing started?
So I would recommend like obviously putting your location and then hashtags. That always helped me. And then there's these accounts too, like Canadian models or even agencies, like, and sometimes at the start of my career, I would just tag all of them on my posts.
Oh yeah.
So then people would look on their tagged things and then see me, and then I would grow sort of my followers from there. And photographers would, like, I would use the hashtag YYC model. So photographers looking for models in Calgary would see me and then book me and all that. So I would recommend definitely hashtags, location, tagging people, all that. And definitely like posting on your story when you posted something, all that.
Right. Okay. And doing that consistently over and over and over again is a big part of it too, right? So
Yeah. And definitely also to like post like maybe 3 to 4 times a week, like, and it's definitely not good to be inactive with your account.
Right.
And like if you're gonna like be away and take a break, post about it, and then so you can keep your followers so they don't like wonder where you've disappeared off to. But definitely I would recommend staying as active as possible.
Okay. Yeah, that's good tips. How much work have you booked directly at Instagram?
So much. Like I like that's why I'm so upset with losing my other account, because I worked so hard on that. I was posting all the time. Eventually when I was going through a mental health problem, I wasn't posting a lot, but I worked really hard on that with my posts and everything that I did, building up my platform, and Instagram just took it away, which really upsets me.
Yeah, they're pretty good at doing stuff like that, unfortunately. So you mentioned a little bit about the photographer, need to research them, take somebody with you and that kind of thing. Do you have any experiences to share, or things that you, looking back on now, you would have done different in working with different photographers that maybe were a little, sketch is the word, I don't know, but
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Like I had a photo shoot when I think I was like 16, and my mother came with me to it. Like my mother was in the same room, but the photographer was being a little creepy. And eventually we would go into different rooms to shoot, and then he would say, oh, we should do a topless picture, and I would be like, what? I'm a child, I shouldn't be doing a topless picture. And my own mother was there too, and the photographer was still doing this. So I would definitely also too, like if you're gonna bring someone, make sure they follow you around too. I would have made if I could change it, I would have made my mom follow me into the different rooms that you were shooting me in.
Okay.
But yeah, photographers, they can, like, this photographer had like really good pictures on his account, and he had a big following and stuff. So I thought, oh, he shouldn't be creepy or anything, but he was. So like never like look at a photographer's account and be like, oh, this person is like got a lot of pictures, he's probably good. Like never immediately assume that just because of their portfolio and all that.
Yeah, the assumptions will get you in trouble no matter what happens, right? But those kind of cases that can get to be pretty scary and dangerous in some cases too, right? So
and also too, one thing I would recommend for new models too is like, one common thing that I went through when I first started was I had people making fake accounts and like stealing pictures from the internet, and then saying, oh, like I'll pay you like $200 an hour to shoot with you in the hotel room or whatever. And it seems legit, but it's not. And I even got an email from Boohoo, the brand, saying they wanted to shoot with me, and I immediately knew it was fake, because why would they just email me?
Right.
And like, because usually clothing stores, they email the agency, not the model.
That's right.
So that's one common thing that I almost fell for it, and probably other girls have fallen for it.
Right.
So like always research beforehand.
If something's too good to be true, it might just be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Have you been able to, speaking of brands, work with brands over the years a little bit, or is that stuff you've gotten into at all, or?
I haven't a lot, I would say. Like, it's definitely hard to connect with brands, especially in Calgary, I've noticed, because this is one thing I've noticed too, they're always looking for like a certain look.
Right.
And then when they see me, I have a very different look, because I'm mixed race, so I'm not fully white.
Cool.
And sometimes it seems like brands don't like that. And they want me to just look fully white. And especially with Calgary, I don't know why most of the brands here are very whitewashed, I've noticed.
Right.
And yeah, it's been very hard to work with brands because of that, or because I'm not super skinny, or I don't have because I have a bigger bum. They don't like that, and they don't like I have bigger thighs, and it's very, very hard to
Right.
work with brands. Yeah, I would
They've all
say.
got their specific niche or whatever, and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. No, that's fair, and that's yeah. It might come down the road too. There's always a certain level of evolution and stuff in the marketing world that happens, so it could come back
Yeah, that's
around
very
too.
true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, to be able to doing what you're doing now is pretty incredible. You know, a lot of people were just wishing for the dream to, kind of be making a living
Yeah,
doing what
that's
you're
true.
doing. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, shooting in general, do you have some general tips that you give everybody for staying cautious or how to stay safe yourself?
Um, well, for shoots, I would say always plan ahead with that stuff. So always plan with the photographer, like your outfits, or like if they say nothing and just say, "Oh, let's do a shoot," like always make sure like outfits, what's the theme, what kind of poses do they want, and all that, and then practice in the mirror a little bit, practice your poses a little bit, see what side of your face is the best or anything like that. And then when I'm in the shoot, I just go with the flow. I don't think like, oh, I have to do this pose. Oh, I have to do. I just do what I feel looks good and stuff, and what I've practiced. And yeah, just be confident. And if the photographer or someone else is putting you down through it or saying no, that's not right, don't let that get to you.
Just go with it, keep pushing through. So
Yeah, exactly.
how often do you practice? Because I know, some people doing runway and stuff like that, they walk hallways all day long. But if you're doing more just shooting, how often do you kind of practice before every shoot, or do you do it kind of on a regular basis? Or
I practice almost every day, and then I practice my runway walk so much that it's just my normal walk now.
there you go. Yeah,
And
you got
yeah,
confidence stride.
yeah, exactly.
Cool. What about inspiration? Where do you find, if you're practicing shoots, you obviously kind of get some inspo from somewhere to know where to go or what you're thinking of. What's some ways you do that?
Well, sometimes I'll look through Pinterest and then look through photo shoots on there and look at the poses. And then sometimes I'll look at like photo shoots from the 80s or 90s and
Oh,
see what poses or what outfits they're wearing or how they did their makeup or they did their hair, and try to copy off of that a lot. I do that mostly. I look through vintage style shoots and copy the poses off of that.
cool. Well, I guess you wouldn't be quite in a 90s kid yet, right? So that would be vintage. So
Yeah, that's true.
side note, I hear people talking about the 90s now, like I used to talk about the 80s, because that's before my time. But
Yeah.
so yeah, it's kind of funny. So
Yeah.
good. Build the vintage. Cool. Let's shift gears a little bit. You're on the camera a lot. People have seen you out there, doing shoots and that sort of thing. But there's always a life behind the camera, behind the Instagram posts and that sort of thing. What's something that people don't know about Isabelle? What do you do for fun, or some things you've experienced that maybe people don't know?
Well, one thing people don't know about me is that I'm very artistic, and I actually do art a lot. So lately I've been getting into paintings a lot, and I've actually been thinking of starting a little Etsy store where I sell different paintings.
Good for you. What do you like to paint?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you do landscape or people, or?
I've been doing lots of landscapes, but I would love to paint more portraits of people. Like maybe I'll even paint some portraits of some of my model friends and stuff. I think that would be really fun.
Right on. And you've kind of always been into painting and doing art, or is it
always? Yeah, since I was little. Yeah.
Okay. Are you trained in that, or is this you just picked it up on your own?
Picked it up on my own. Yeah.
Good for you. It's a natural talent to be able to do that, because like sometimes I can see something that I want to make happen, but physical ability just not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned a couple of times since we've been chatting here about some kind of anxiety or mental health challenges that maybe you've seen. Do you mind sharing a little bit about those experiences that you've had in the past, Isabelle? Or?
Yeah, of course. I like when I was in high school, like it was like I think I've been doing modeling for about 2-3 years by then.
Okay.
I was assaulted in
Oh
the
my.
school,
By a
and that
schoolmate or
basically ruined my confidence. Like I
wow.
didn't want to do modeling. I didn't want to like I just didn't want to like be on earth anymore kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like I stopped doing modeling for a little bit, and I was like I would look at myself and I would just be like, wow, I'm just some object. Like people don't see me as a human being. And that was around the time too where I was told to lose weight to go international. So like I was trying not to let that put me down as well. It was that really affected my mental health and my modeling and everything and how I viewed myself and my body. But when I went to therapy, that really helped me. Like my therapist taught me to not let that stuff get to my head, to not view myself that way, to not put myself down, and to lift myself up instead. And that's what I did. And I feel like ever since then, with that anxiety and stuff, I try to push forward more. And I feel like my confidence has gotten so much better because I used to be terrified of being in front of the camera, messing up or whatever. But whenever I got that anxiety, I pushed through it. I told myself, don't let this get to you. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're confident. You can do this. And yeah, that was definitely a big hit in my mental health, but I did not let it get to me.
Yeah.
And I pushed through, and
what
I'm a lot better now. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. And I mean, some people, they never do come out of that. So that's incredible. But what from the time that you were, assaulted and you went through the experience of feeling that, what brought you to therapy, or how long did that timeline last in between there that you decided to get some help?
Well, it was maybe about like a month afterwards that I was like, I can't sit here and cry and mope around and view myself this way. I need to get help. And what sucks about therapy is there's like sometimes a wait list. So I had to wait like about 3 months to get to see my actual therapist. And then I was in therapy for about, I would say, a year until I finally decided, okay, I'm ready. I don't need this anymore. I can help myself.
Right on.
And yeah.
So that's been a couple of years ago now. What do you do to kind of keep that momentum going for yourself on a day-to-day basis? Do you have some exercises, or do you?
I do whenever I'm feeling anxious, like when I had the panic attack at the expo, I remove myself from the people or the environment, and then I just sit there and take deep breaths and affirmations to myself, like I'm good, I'm confident, I'm beautiful, and that really helps me. Exactly.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, they build it into their daily routine, and some people they're able to just do those exercises when they need them, right? And I think that's really important. And it's probably, for anybody listening, it's important that you've got these tools in your toolbox somewhere, because you never know when this overwhelm, the anxiety, anxiousness, those things are going to hit you, right? And especially again with modeling, like you're in front of people all the time, and you've got a certain face to put on, right? I'm sure Isabelle knows about that. And it's about keeping yourself level, taking care of yourself, so that you can kind of be the face, the light for everybody else, right? So
yeah, exactly.
do you have any advice for any people that are, I've shared a little bit of mine now, but any advice for anybody that is going through mental health struggles now, or maybe dealing with some of the body issues, things in the industry?
They definitely need to know they're not alone. Like even the most beautiful girls out there feel the same way, and you have to try to not let that bring you down. Like use it as a confidence booster. And if someone's bringing you down, say no. Like I'm better. I'm better than you. I'm better than that. I'm confident. I'm beautiful. And never forget you're not alone. And if you need help, there's always help out there.
So important. So important to remember to connect where you need to connect, right? So
yeah, exactly.
What about Isabelle in the next few years? Do you have some big goals, big dreams, things that you want to see happen?
I would love to possibly move out to Vegas or LA, since that trip to Vegas kind of showed me that I could probably do more with my modeling down there.
Yeah.
And I eventually do want to try to make this like a full-blown career where I'm not just doing, TFP shoots. I'm doing actual paid shoots, and I'm working with brands, and I'm getting more opportunities with Playboy, luckily, and I want to work more for that. And I definitely have to be in America for that, not in Canada.
Right.
Yeah, that's my goal, to be more successful.
What keeps you from just jumping on a plane and doing that?
Well, definitely all the responsibilities I have in Calgary, like my job with a strip club, because I'm a stripper, and all those things, and definitely money for sure. I need to build, and I also want to build my platform again on Instagram, since I have to do it again, and build more contacts in Vegas and LA.
Yeah,
all that. Mm-hmm.
Well, doing a few different shoots down there, you'll probably build that and build your Instagram, and work will catch up, and you'll have enough to get yourself down there anyway. So
yeah,
very exciting stuff anyway. So
yeah, very.
Time goes on. But how do people get a hold of you? How do we follow you? How do we support you?
So my Instagram, since it was taken down, I've made a new one. It's Isabelle_Bethany. That's where you can find me. And then I'm currently trying to build the TikTok, so I will post it eventually on my Instagram. And then my Playboy page, which is in the link in my Instagram bio. Cool. And then if anyone wants to shoot with me, or if any model wants to work with me or reach out to me or anything, my Instagram is the best place to go.
That's awesome. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you move down to the big city, or the bigger city, I guess, and seeing things happen for yourself.
I can't wait.
So, yeah, that's going to be awesome. So, be a good story to tell, that, small town Calgary girl going south. So, do you have any final thoughts? Something that you were just burning to tell everybody, or if your Instagram, gets up to 1 million followers here overnight, what are some things that you'd want to share with everybody that way?
Well, to all the girls out there that want to become models, or that are dying to do it, just do it. Yeah, don't even think about it, just do it. You can do it no matter what anyone says. Do it.
Book a shoot tomorrow and get on it. So
yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's really good advice. And I think a lot of people, they're just looking to get over that hump in the starting. So hearing stories like yours, Isabelle, really helps people kind of build that confidence to get started. So
yeah, and I hope my story helps someone out there.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like you'll probably have a few DMs from people going through the same thing after this. So
yeah, I hope so, because then I can help them.
Yeah, awesome. Well, maybe we'll say take care for now, and we'll hopefully catch up down the road someplace as you continue to evolve. And just appreciate you coming on today as well. So
thank you so much. I'm so happy to be on here.
Right on. Take care.
Thank you.